G'day legends. Sorry for the phone flip just then. I have dropped this phone down face down on the road, and now like a quarter of the screen doesn't, I can't touch it or anything. I'll have to get a new phone. Yeah, so anyway, first of all, if you're a legend, like the video as usual if you're subscribed, and if you're not a legend and you want to be one, subscribe and then start liking the videos. All right, we've had a huge couple of days, and I'm kind of just waiting for it to, stop. That little bear part of me is going, oh, this has got to pull back at some stage, but it is just not pulling back. We have had like just push after push on Bitcoin, where it's going through levels, level after level, where it could turn around and go back down the other way, and it's not. And I wasn't expecting us to get to the back over 100 basically till more the end of this month into June, when we're heading towards the next FOMC meeting. Especially since yesterday's FOMC meeting, when Jerome Powell came out, he didn't actually say anything very good. He kept rates at zero, as we all knew would happen, at a zero change, sorry. And he basically, said everything's unclear because of tariffs and all that. We don't know, the basis of it was, we don't know what's going to happen, so we're not going to do anything. Yeah, that's the basis of what was said, which it creates uncertainty. Oh, I've lost my camera. Where's it going? Oh, yes, I can click the camera adjust. All right. But anyway, so what's happened since then is Trump called a meeting over in America and said that he's going to play nice with China in making a deal with them. He's and he wants to make it a good deal for both, and he thinks that they'll be great allies, and he just talked very positively. And he also has come out and said that the deal is done with the UK. That the UK is they're the sixth biggest economy in the world. US is the first. And the UK is the seventh biggest trading partner of the US. And so they needed to get a deal done. And the actual deal that they got signed off on had been in the works for 25 years. And then all of a sudden, they've got it signed. And it sounds like it's great for both countries. It's going to cause lots of jobs and all that. So just super positive stuff as far as the deals are going on. And the stock market and the crypto markets have gone absolutely nuts just on that, which is insane, because the China deal's not done. The China deal is the biggest one in the world. The China deal is really the one we're waiting for. But it's just got everyone so excited. So let's go have a look at the bubbles. I've got a few different things set up for you. I've had requests of things that people want. So we'll go and have a look, and we'll hope that my phone plays nice. I'm on my lunch break right now. So chuck a like up for that. The fact that I'm making videos for you guys, it's not my full-time, well, it's not my job at all. It's just something I like to do. I feel like, I like to talk to people on the comments and stuff. So get into it. This is what your day looks like. It's pretty good to come in and see all green. Here's Bitcoin over the last day. We've gone from 98,760 to 103.5, basically, a bit more. That's your week. That's a pretty intense looking week. That's why I was thinking, we might get a pullback at some stage. People will be taking profits. But it doesn't look that bad. It's not too aggressive when you look at the month. Ethereum, as I pointed out, I thought Ethereum was a pretty good buy. I didn't buy any myself, as I've also said. I thought it was a great buy, one of the best buys. Doesn't mean you have to hold it long term, but if you had bought back when I said it, I think I said it about around here somewhere in this area, and look at the profit you've made. 700. As I always say, though, it's not financial advice that I give. It's just some guy on the internet that has an opinion who's talking, and you know, what you do with your money is up to you. Let's go to the day. I'll see if it'll work. Yep, that's what your day looks like. For those that don't know, the yellow circled ones are ones I'm keeping an eye on, or own, or both. They're ones that I'm looking at the moment. There's a few I need to add, and probably a few I need to take off, but that gives you an idea of the type of things I like to invest in, if you're interested. We'll go down to the 200 to have a look. So we're starting to get that point where the meme coins are starting to, 50% in a day. That starts to send alarm bells off a little bit that the meme coins is taking off. How's my one meme coin, which is Turbo? It's looking pretty good for the month. Might have to take some profit on that, depending on when I bought it. Alright, have one more look here at any other people's favourites. We might have a look at some ADA. Good solid project, lots of people like it. Up 8% nearly for the day. It's fantastic. People be making money. What are some of the other biggies? XRP, 5% for the day. Only 3%, so it had a bit of a downturn earlier. For the week, month's looking nice though, 27%. Solana, we could have got a Solana for nearly $100. I was holding out for 100, so I didn't get any. But that's fine, because I'm kind of one of those people that, you don't have to own everything. I own SUI instead of Solana, but if it had got back down to 100, I would have bought some. And one of my favorites, Link, back up over $15, nearly $16. That's nice to see. It's been sitting down for a while. SUI, just because we were talking about it, SUI's been on an absolute monster month, 100% for the month. It's gone from $1.90, $4. All right, let's move on. Here was the UK deal. This is from the Investing Bros X or Twitter page, so I'll just give them credit for that. They've always got information up for people that need it. If you don't have time to get on websites yourself. So the UK deal that was achieved was 100k UK cars face a 10% tariff instead of 25%. 0% tariff on UK jet engines and plane parts, 0% tariffs on UK steel and aluminium. UK makes a $10 billion purchase from Boeing. The UK reduces ethanol tariffs, mutual reduction of beef tariffs, and all other US tariffs are to stay at 10%, I believe was what I heard. Yep, so so that is up from the original, which was 3.4. The UK tariffs had gone from 5.1 down to 1.8. So that's what all the excitement was about, because they had, this deal has taken 25 years, as we were talking about. Okay. As I checked these, I haven't checked them today, so this is the first time I checked them with you guys. Fear and greed. We are now in greed. If we tick up 2 more, we move into extreme greed. That is the time when, quite often, as history shows us, that it is a good time to sell. So to find this index, if you don't have, obviously if you watch me, I show them regularly, but if you want to find it yourself, you just go into crypto fear and greed indexes, and it'll bring one up. My favorite is CoinTree, just because it's the easiest to look at, and occasionally the other ones don't work. What else was I going to show you guys? Bitcoin dominance has dropped today, I believe. No, it's going back up again. For the week, it's down nearly 0.5%. Well, 0.39. Still very, very high at 64%. What the Bitcoin dominance chart tells us is how much of the whole crypto, all of crypto, how much of the money is in Bitcoin versus how much of it is in the rest of the cryptocurrencies. So 64.5 roughly percent is in Bitcoin. The other 35% is the rest of the cryptos. So as Bitcoin dominance goes down, it indicates to us that money is moving from Bitcoin into other altcoins, but that is not happening yet. And we've got the RSI, which works basically the same, very similar to the fear and greed. They generally track fairly close together. All right, so this purple part down here is the part we're looking at here. Generally, that purple line stays within those lines, which the bottom line is 30, the top line is 70. And as you can see, it actually ticked up here, looks like over 80, and now it's had a downturn. So that's generally a good time to think about taking profits in Bitcoin when you see it over, because it's the Bitcoin RSI, Relative Strength Index. Generally, big traders will use this as one of the indicators they'll put with other indicators to go, okay, well, maybe it's time I take some profits on my Bitcoin. Oh, the phone's not moving. Main takeaways, I don't need to, we've talked about that. All right, so that's a lot of the news. What else was in the news? XRP. The XRP case is finally concluded. I know it was brought out that it was concluded about a month ago, which it was, but now the final little, the dotting the I's and all that type of thing, crossing their T's. XRP, Ripple has to pay $50 million, I think, off the top of my head. I'm saying 50 million is the fine that they have to pay, which is a drop in the bucket for that company. They are a $20-30 billion company right now, something like that. I haven't checked how much they're worth right now, but yeah, it's a drop in the bucket. They will be able to pay that straight up. That's fantastic. No matter what you think about XRP, Ripple, they have fought the good fight for the crypto as a whole, as an industry, and we should be very proud and thankful of them for doing that, spending their money, their company's money, to fight the US government when the old SEC was in power, and it's all over. They've just got it. There's, as far as I know, that's the full conclusion of it. They pay that fine and follow whatever other guidelines that have been put in place, and they're done. There was that. Ethereum's broken out of, for those, because we were talking about Ethereum before, Ethereum's actually broken out past its the point. It had to get over 2100 to become bullish again, as in get into an actual bull pattern, and that has happened. If it can hold, I think it'll probably hold there for the 24 hours. Yep, and that's about it off the top of my head. I cannot think of anything else, but this video is nearly 15 minutes. If you've made it to this point, thank you for watching. Chuck up a like, spread it around to others. Crypto's getting exciting. We're back over 100,000. This is going to get a lot of people's attention. It's going to get new investors wanting to get involved. New investors need information, and sometimes just coming from an average Joe like me, that might be what they need. But there may not be. Like, there's always other people. There are fantastic people out there on YouTube, people that do it for a job. I just do it to get in contact with other people because I'm from a small town and basically no one I know knows anything about crypto. So I spend so much of my day listening and researching and enjoying crypto that I just wanted to pass it on to other people. Have a great afternoon. Do something nice for someone else. Crypto Bogan out. Oh, I'm going to have to tilt the phone to turn it off.